Hello everybody, my name is Dani, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at the subreddit r/BestOfRedditorUpdates. This post was originally posted to r/AmITheButthole. Am I the butthole for expecting my boyfriend to pay rent if he moves in with me?
Everybody has to pay rent.
This is a doozy. I've been dating Josh for a year. I should say now that I, a 24-year-old female, don't ever want to be legally married, and Josh, who's 30, is divorced and doesn't want to remarry. We also live in a place where there is no common law marriage. Still, we want to take things a bit further, and we're talking about Josh and his 2 daughters moving in with me. I own a 3-bed, 2-bath house in a nice area. Josh rents a 2-bed, 1-bath apartment, and his lease is coming up. My mortgage is $1,000 a month, and Josh's rent is $1.4K a month. It was important to me that we would have everything figured out before making the change so that there would be no surprises or disagreements about who pays what.
That's a great idea.
I figured it would be unreasonable for Josh to expect to just live with me for free, especially since I'd be giving up one of my rooms so his daughter could have a room. I suggested that Josh pay $700 a month to me in rent, half of what he is currently paying. I would cover the cost of any home repairs, internet, garbage, etc. Then we would split utilities. Even though there's 3 of them and 1 of me, I don't mind splitting, since that would be about what I'm currently paying, I predict. And since I meal prep once a week, I would just get my own groceries and he could get theirs.
Do.
When I laid out everything, Josh was very unhappy and said that since it's my house, he shouldn't have to pay rent and that we should split groceries.
No, thank you.
I told him he was welcome to buy his own house and I would move in with him and happily pay rent while renting out my own house. He was mad at me because he said he's not in a position where he can buy a house. We can't come to an agreement, so I suggested he just find another apartment. The owners aren't letting him renew.
I wonder why.
And we could revisit the topic in a year. He's not happy with that either because rent prices have skyrocketed and 2 bedrooms now go for around $1.8K a month. And he thinks he won't be able to find a place he can afford. I'm a bit frustrated because I feel like $700 a month is a really good deal compared to the likely $1,800 he'll have to pay. Since we aren't going to get married or anything, I don't understand why he thinks I would be okay with him living for free with his 2 kids. I'm happy to have romance and companionship, but shared assets and finances are not something I want in life. I don't want to support a man. Am I the butthole for expecting my boyfriend to pay rent? Then OP posts an edit. I showed Josh this post and he thinks you're all wrong. So here's some input from him. Leslie makes $120,000 a year and I make $30K a year. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, supporting 2 kids with no help from my ex-wife. It's gotten so expensive here that at this rate, I'm not going to even be able to afford to feed my kids soon without going to the food bank. No matter what, they're going to get fed, but it's not fair that she owns a house and can go on vacations or spend $400 a month getting her hair done when I can't even buy my kids name brand cereal. She shouldn't charge me to live with her because she should understand that I want to be able to spend whatever I can giving my kids the childhood they deserve. Not for me, but for them.
I don't think that's fair.
Then OP posts an update. Thanks Reddit, I owe you one and I'm glad I posted here. After a very loud and angry argument with Josh, I broke up with him. Despite pretty much everyone telling me he was wrong, Josh insisted that I should basically support the 3 of them because it's what would be best for his kids. He doesn't seem to understand that they aren't my kids and no one is going to want to bankroll the 3 of them. At least no one with a brain. The point is, I'm young, good looking, I own a house.
I'm the catch.
I can do better than a broke single dad who has no education and a crappy job, who thinks it's okay to mooch off of me and scream in my face when I tell him no. Hope your next girlfriend is stupid enough to put up with you, Josh. No wonder your ex-wife left. Wow, brutal. I love it. We can answer the am I the butthole?
You are not.
But I think it's pretty clear. Obviously, OP is not the butthole. She was offering her boyfriend a very good deal, $700 to be able to live in a house and only half of the utilities. This guy is such an idiot. He's complaining that everything's too expensive while his girlfriend was about to make it much less expensive for him. He just wanted a free ride and he threw a little hissy fit when he didn't get what he wanted. OP is so much better off without him, and I'm so glad that she can see that. Am I the butthole for returning a birthday gift I got from my boyfriend after he insulted me about my colorful past? This happened last night, but my phone is still blowing up. I'm a 26-year-old female, and I dipped into my savings and got Mike, my boyfriend, who's 27, a PS5 for his birthday yesterday. He knew he was getting a PS5 because he told me that the PS5 is the only thing he wants. We've been together for 4 years, so the cost didn't matter. That is, until I found out what he thinks about me. For some background, when I was 18, I was involved with Jake, a guy who I met online. We ended things after 3 months, and I moved on shortly after with Adam, a guy from work. I found out a couple months later that Jake and Adam were actually really close friends, but I didn't know Jake long enough to meet his friend group, so I had no idea. After finding out, I took some time off dating, and 2 years later, I met my current boyfriend, Mike. I was upfront and honest with Mike about my past and the fact that I was unintentionally involved with friends. He said he understood and my past didn't bother him. Last night at his party, I showed up with the PS5 and he and his friends were screaming with joy. His best female friend, Jessica, laughed and said, "I wish I was the thot so I could afford a PS5 too." I looked at her with an "excuse me" look on my face, and she just said, "never mind," and walked away. I confronted my boyfriend about it, and he said, and I quote, "She's just messing with you. You can't take a joke." So I pushed further as to why this girl is even calling me names to begin with. And he said, "Well, everyone knows you were a thot before you met me." I asked him to explain how I was a thot before I met him, and he said, "You know, messing with best friends." He then patted me on the shoulder and said that it's okay because I'm not who I was back then, and if he could get over my colorful past and thot mentalities to give me a chance, then I could get over Jessica's comments and give her another chance.
Oh no, he didn't.
I didn't say anything. I just got up, took the PS5 from the gift table, and left. He was pissed. He literally called me like 20 times, but I don't care. I was so hurt that I took the bow off and took it straight back to the store I got it from. They happily refunded it. I thought that was done, but Mike and all his friends, including Jessica, are berating me for being petty, and they're all saying I brought this on myself by making poor choices. I responded to Mike and told him that he deserves better than me, so find someone who isn't a thot and get a PS5 from them because I returned it. He started screaming about how I'm the biggest butthole for returning it, and how I should be happy he ignored my colorful past. I'm thinking maybe taking it back went too far. Am I the butthole? Then OP posted an update. Firstly, thank you all for the support. I really appreciate it, and I'm trying my best to respond to each of you. Turns out you guys were right, but we'll get into that. Firstly, I unblocked Mike this morning and called him to talk. After a few hours of arguing, I finally got the truth out of him. He said after I told him about my past, he was fine with it because it happened before him. Then he got curious about who Jake and Adam were. So he went digging on my Facebook friend list and didn't find Jake, but he found Adam. He then condemned me for having an ex on my social media page. I said I don't speak to the majority of the people on my Facebook, but I wouldn't delete them, I just won't engage. He said that in his eyes, that was a red flag, so he went digging, and he found what he was looking for. Gotcha. He saw that Adam was well-known and well-liked by a lot of women because of all the women liking and commenting on his posts. And by the cars and trips he posted prior, he knew that Adam had to be well off. He also admitted to knowing some of the women who were in Adam's comments. He then tried digging into Adam's friend list, but it was hidden. So he asked Jessica to stalk his likes, comments, and posts for a Jake. Sure enough, they found Jake. They saw that Jake drove an expensive car and came to the conclusion that I only date men with money. Note, Mike doesn't have money, so his entire analysis was dumb. Anyway, I asked him why he didn't just come to me, and he confessed that for a while he thought I was interested in Jake and Adam for money, because that's what women do.
There is an epidemic of gold-digging whores in this country.
He then said that he and Jessica brought this situation up to his guy friends, and they all agreed that this is how the situation went. I was dating Jake, he introduced me to Adam, I found out that Adam had more money than Jake, I left Jake to sleep with Adam, then started dating him. I questioned, why would I leave Adam if I was with him for money? And he said he thought that was a lie and Adam had to be the one who left me. Ouch. He then said that he contemplated breaking up with me over this for months, but as he got to know me, he slowly realized I'm not that kind of person. I told him that he's basically full of crap for dirtying my name with his friends. Then I asked him why he didn't clear up my name. He said whenever he brought me up, they all dismissed me as a gold digger, a thot, a woman who slept with men for money, and here's the kicker, probably still have some of that money saved. They came to the conclusion that I must be with Mike for some ulterior motive, but he was too embarrassed to defend me. He also said that he was embarrassed every time I mentioned a male friend or tagged any guy on social media because they all teased him afterwards. I remember him asking me to not like any other man's photos on social media and to not tag any guys, but I thought it's just because it made him uncomfortable, not because his friends were silently stalking me. After hearing all of this, I decided to end things with Mike. I told him that he's not a nice person and I can't trust him anymore, especially because he knew I was saving for months to afford the PS5, and he allowed his friends to think that I got my money somewhere else.
Unacceptable. I'm done.
After ending it, I said, "Oh, by the way, have you ever slept with Jessica?" He said no, but after she found Jake, she suggested they hook up if he ever needs to get back at me in the future. I asked what she meant by getting back at me, and he said she was certain I would cheat on him with a wealthier man if I found one. He then said he gave me the truth after all these years, so I should forgive him and give him another chance. But I didn't. I just thanked him for the good times, the memories, and for dirtying my name. Then I hung up and blocked him again. Now I think I'll take another long break from the dating world. Thanks again, everyone. We can try to answer OP's question of am I the butthole? It's pretty clear. Not the butthole. What an idiot Mike is.
You're an idiot.
Like, his whole argument completely falls apart in the fact that he himself does not have money. If OP was only in relationships for money, clearly she would not have been dating this guy for 4 years. He says that he suspects she has ulterior motives. What ulterior motives could she possibly have? It's so obvious that Jessica was just into him and trying to turn him against OP, but he's such an idiot for not seeing that himself and for going along with it and trash talking his girlfriend for years. OP absolutely made the correct decision. This guy does not respect or love her, and I'm so glad she got out of there. That was r/BestOfRedditorUpdates. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time. Bye!